G'day YouTube, Warbles on a lot here. Thursday, uh, had fraction 9 today of the 35. So, yesterday I fell off the bike. If you didn't see yesterday's video, it was pretty good fun to scratch them. And I said I put 26 scratches on the bike. Well, I don't know if you can see them there. No, I'll get some light. Right, that's 14 of the aforementioned scratches on the left-hand brake lever mounting. And then if we come over here slowly and gently, we will see that there are another 12 on the right-hand brake lever mounting. So what appears to have happened is that the bike has been more or less gone over on its left-hand side in that position. So these 2 points here went up against the embankment. I landed with my left knee bent about there, and yeah, it's been a bit sore and carries on. I don't like me doing deep knee bends. And I did find out when I took my shirt off that I had a little tiny weeny triangular point of skin that got, well, there was a cut there. There was a cut and a little triangular tear, but it didn't make a hole in the shirt. So I must have landed on the embankment on the left shoulder tip, left kneecap, and hands off the bloody front of the brakes, because I didn't get anything on the back of my hands except that tiny little scratch there. Right? That is the extent of the bike injuries and my injuries, I thought. However, when I went to go for a ride just then, the headlight started swinging loose, like that far loose kind of thing. To allow one to point the thing where you want it to be, it should be able to be swiveled from that orientation there to that orientation there, giving you about 5 degrees either side of the centre line, so you can set the bloody light up to point where you want it to point. And that tracking ability is controlled by this little tiny piece of plastic here, which is supposed to go across there, and you can see the fractured endpoints, thus forming a restraint against excessive movement. So the game plan is to secure that fragment in place with some super glue, just to locate it in space, and then reinforce around the outside with magic Canadian ultraviolet setting 3D printing pen type Bondic. So we will see how we do fare with this spontaneous repair. And of course, the big challenge is going to be, get some more light on that, there you go. The big challenge is going to be managing to get this thing secured without getting the bit that's supposed to be mobile from being glued. Yahoo, yippee-oh, what fun. That seems to be the maximum clearance I'm going to be able to get, and that's what I'm going to try with, I think. Aha, look what I found. I can take that off, and then I can separate the pair of them. Thus, and that surely does make this an easier job, striving to achieve that particular alignment on 2 bits of super glue at once. And if I was to set the tripod up with the camera on the tripod, I wouldn't be able to hold the head torch to provide you with sufficient illumination in this little motel room to be able to see what I was doing, and I would probably make a mess while trying to use 2 hands to do a 3-handed job. So what you're going to get is a before. So you see, quickly during and after super gluing. alignment not totally utterly perfect, but pretty good. And of course the next tricky bit is going to be planning exactly how and where to reinforce that without interfering with the on-off slide track mount, or this slot surrounding a strap arrangement. Yeah, it's going to be difficult to do that, but it's got to be done because super glue in the crack where it failed at the last time it got overstressed, that's fairly unlikely to succeed in any long-term stretch of the imagination, because that has to be able to go in there like that and provide quite a lot of freedom of movement for when that goes over there. Meanwhile, that slidey track there, it's not allowed to be occluded when it slots into the light side of the mount instead of the handlebar side. You see? So that's the slot that's got to be protected, and that's the slot that's got to stop the movement of this plastic strap, which goes around the handlebar. Yeah, you can see the fracture line, so that's going to be a bit tricky. Might have to sacrifice a smidgen of movement, I think. Yeah. Not going to be easy, but got to be done. Okay, well I got a little bit of Bondic on there, and I've cured that end. Just put a little bit on one part there and cure it before it runs away too far. Now I'll put a little bit in there. There we go. Now just build it all up a little bit more and try and stay out of those grooves, and it should be okay, I hope. Okay, well that didn't really work too well, because the first time I tried to test fit it, the Bondic just started to delaminate. So what I will try now is reapply after first filing and scratching and marking the surface of the black plastic to give the Bondic something to adhere to, and we will see what we will see. But yeah, that was kind of disappointing. Okay, again, redone, and this time I think I will take a break and eat something and let this maybe cure for a while before I give it another zap of ultraviolet light and try any test fitting or assembly. So the job goes on. One worrying feature is that the Bondic is not turning rigid. It's a soggy sort of a finish. So I don't know how long this is going to take to cure, and I don't know whether there might have been something wrong with that particular cassette. Who knows? Okay, did done. Only took about 2 hours of buggerising around, doing it twice, and yeah, it's a bit interesting how this is so soft and soggy. I don't know whether it'll stay soft and soggy. I'll hang on to it and see what it's like in the morning. But anyway, repairs après le prang. Pretty much completed. And now it's time for me to grab me feed and eat it. All goes on up to YouTube. Ciao.